Hello and welcome. It's Jason Hornung here. I'm really excited that you're able to join me on this training. We're going to get started in just a moment. I want to do a quick tech check to make sure that everyone can hear me. So if you could just go ahead and type in the chat box, put yes or something, let me know that you can hear me. We're going to get started in just a moment. Like I said, I've got my brother Jeremy with me here today. He's going to be moderating the chat and really, answering some questions that come up during the course of this training. And he'll be kind of moving things right along. All right, so I'm seeing the yeses come in. Everybody can hear me just fine, so why don't we go ahead and just get started. The title of the training today is How to Make $100,000 per month with Paid Traffic. 5 myths that are preventing you from being profitable advertising online. All right, because I really value your time and appreciate you being here, let's get out of the way right away who this is for. First of all, this training is for existing business owners that are already running ads. Maybe you've tried them before, but you just haven't been successful yet. Or you've been successful to a certain degree, but you can't scale. You can get things working great on small budgets, maybe $50, $100, or $500 per day. But as soon as you go to increase your budgets, your campaigns go to hell in a handbasket. And this seems to happen to you more often than not. It's also for existing business owners not already running ads. But you want to have a reliable, predictable stream of revenue that you can scale. And maybe you don't have a product or service, but you're passionate about helping people. You just don't know where to focus your time and energy to accomplish those goals. What you're going to discover today is a business model that will allow you to do just that. In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you why the get yourself out there mentality and common advice is actually detrimental to your success. In fact, it's the number one reason you failed at advertising previously, and it's not your fault. And if you haven't started advertising and take this approach, why you're actually setting yourself up to fail. This is the common advice peddled by most. You're going to discover why you should have an MVP when you start driving paid traffic. And this is totally opposite of what most gurus teach, and it's a huge success killer. And I'll tell you what an MVP is. Don't worry about that. It's not most valuable player if that's what you're thinking. Although it actually could be, because it's actually the difference between you winning and losing in this game. You're also going to discover how to have a reliable, predictable, and scalable flow of traffic that converts into clients and customers profitably. You can stop all the old school marketing tactics, dialing for dollars, begging for referrals, and hoping for joint ventures. You can put an end to chasing business and start attracting all the new business that you desire. And I'm going to show you the guaranteed profitability formula. This is actually how to determine if your advertising will be profitable before you ever spend a dime on paid traffic. You'll take all the guesswork and emotion out of the equation by establishing measurable benchmarks that guarantee you'll make money with your ads when you hit them. All this is essentially what you need to know to make 6 figures per month driving paid traffic without guesswork or wasting money. Because as legendary marketing consultant copywriter Dan Kennedy says, if you can't advertise to get customers profitably, you don't have a business. At least not a business that you control or can grow with predictability. All right, so make sure that you watch to the end. I'm going to show you an ad that's produced over $100,000 a month of revenue for 4 months straight for my client, Mike Dillard. It's our #1 ad format. I'll walk you through how and why it works so well, and you can model this ad format immediately into your business. You'll also get a copy of the slides. I have Jeremy moderating, and he's going to place the link in the chat room for you. We will not email this out to everyone, so it's not going to be available until the end of the presentation. We're going to give you a link to be able to download those slides, and you'll get that walkthrough of the ad from Mike Dillard. All right, and then Jeremy's also going to be doing his best to answer your questions throughout the presentation. At the end, we'll cover as many unanswered questions as we can in the time that we have left. So make sure that you watch to the end. This is going to be one of the most valuable trainings that you've ever attended. I have a few house rules for today's webinar. The first is this is not get rich quick. So just get that out of your head. That really doesn't exist, and that's not what we're talking about today. This is not black hat. So if you've been around the internet marketing and advertising space, you've probably heard that phrase before. Black hat, if you haven't referred or heard it before, is basically a term that they use for stuff where you're trying to game the system and beat the ad networks. We're not going to be teaching any of that stuff. Everything that we're talking about today is what they call white hat. It's all above board, and it's working with Facebook to do things the way that they want. This is not for prohibited markets. So there's certain things that are really hard to advertise. Things like weapons, gambling, dating, adult, that traffic networks don't like those types of markets. And so, if you're in one of those kinds of markets, this really is not for you. This is not some post selfies to get leads strategy, because again, if you want to run your business relying on things that you can't control, like referrals and joint venture partners, that's what we call hope marketing, and you can't, or you're not willing to spend money on paid advertising, you don't really have a real business that can scale. And so you must be willing to spend money on advertising. This training is all about turning paid traffic into customers profitably. You can't run paid traffic if you're not spending money on ads. All right, so my lawyers tell me I got to have this slide, and basically we need to let you know that results are not typical. You're going to see behind the scenes of specific promotions for myself and my clients that are earning 6 to 7 figures per month consistently right now with paid traffic. Our results are certainly not typical, and the average person on any one of these trainings will get 0 results because they don't go off and actually implement any of this stuff. However, what I'm here to do is I'm happy to show you exactly what's working for us for free. You didn't have to pay to be on this training. We're going to walk you through all of this stuff, and you don't have to spend a dime to see it. Here's a few housekeeping items today. First of all, turn off all other programs that you're running right now. We're streaming video via the web. It uses up a lot of RAM on your computer. So if you have other programs up and running, especially stuff that uses a lot of RAM, like, other web browsers and, video players and stuff like that, all those other programs are going to slow this down, and it may cause it to start glitching and the audio and video to go out for you, and you don't want to miss anything. So shut down all those other windows or tabs that you have open. Get rid of all the distractions that are going to keep you away from learning today. Get in a quiet location and get any external distractions away from you. And then grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, because what you're going to learn today is actionable material that you'll be able to implement in your business right away. And like I said, just pay real close attention, because you're going to be able to go out and take this stuff, put it into place right away, so you don't want to miss any of the valuable nuggets that we're going to be giving you here today. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt this way before? I've got a great product or service that really helps people. I want to get it out there in a big way, and I know advertising can help me do that. However, every time I try, it doesn't work. I just keep spending money and getting little to no return. It's super frustrating. Or I've spent a bunch of time and money getting a killer website put together. I thought it would solve all my sales problems. Now I desperately need sales, but I don't know how to get them. What about I like the idea of advertising for my business? However, there's so many different options and choices, I get overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. Plus, I'm seriously afraid of losing a bunch of money. Or I can get my ads converting well at small budgets, but scaling the ads that work always seem to mess with my CPC and make it unprofitable. How can I grow my campaigns profitably? Or I don't have a product or service, but I have a passion for helping people. I'm looking for the highest leverage, highest guaranteed way for me to get in and help the most people possible. And let me just say this. If you know how to advertise and drive paid traffic profitably, you'll never be broke a day in your life, because there are too many people out there that need this. And as my buddy Jermaine Griggs says, he who controls the herd wins. And so when you understand paid traffic, you control the herd. All right, here's the real problem. What you're taught in the online marketing industry is this: traffic plus conversion equals success. Now, I've taken a screenshot here from the landing page for the Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is put on by Digital Marketer and Ryan Deiss, who you see on the screen there. That's the actual headline that's on their landing page: traffic plus conversion equals growth, which is essentially the same as success. And this is what is perpetuated in the industry by they're the main teachers in the industry. Now, please don't get me wrong. These are the two ingredients of the success formula, traffic and conversion. And heck, I love Ryan, Roland, Perry, and Molly and the whole digital marketer team. They were clients of mine. Their trainings are awesome. I'm not trying to say that these guys are the bad guys here, okay? What I'm telling you, though, is that there's a problem with that equation. You see, the problem with this equation is that it creates a chicken or egg issue by placing an equal importance on traffic and conversion, which begs the question, what comes first, the traffic or the conversion? Most people spend all their time, effort, and money on the conversion side to start. They build out some elaborate tripwire funnel or product launch funnel because it's what they're told they need in order to make money online. It's also tangible. You get to see your landing page, sales page, email sequences in place. It feels like you're making progress. The expectation is this: if you build it, they will come and buy. Just ask real estate developers in 2008 how that philosophy worked out. And I'm certain you know someone, if you haven't done this yourself, that spent a bunch of money on websites that have produced little to no return on investment. You see, this is totally opposite of what happens in the real world. Here's the formula that works in the real world. Traffic cubed plus conversion equals success. Here's why traffic is exponentially more important than conversion. If you don't have traffic, you've got nothing to convert in the first place. You see, if you were a scientist, it'd be like spending all your time and money setting up an experiment, but never getting test subjects through it to get real data and results. Very rarely will a marketing funnel convert profitably out of the gate. This is a huge success killer. It goes right back to that if I build it, people will come and buy mentality. I see so many people build out an expensive, time-consuming, and elaborate funnel and then spend maybe $100 sending traffic into it. They make 0 sales from that, and then they conclude that advertising and funnels don't work. You see, if we go back to our scientist analogy here, just imagine if Thomas Edison gave up after his first attempt at making the light bulb. We'd probably be still using candles for light at night right now. He famously had over 1,000 failed attempts at the light bulb before it worked the way he wanted. Those that are successful with paid traffic know how to make strategic changes to their funnel based on the way people are interacting with it. So what I want to do is actually show you an example from a client that we work with that's going to illustrate this for you, because I really want you to understand how this whole process works, because it's a big misnomer in the industry. So what I'm going to do here is I'm pulling up a spreadsheet. So this is a client of ours called Inbound Marketing Pty. They are out of Australia, and what they do is they do training for female entrepreneurs, teaching them how to build out marketing funnels and do digital marketing for their business. All right, so what they offer is an online training course that they wanted to promote via an automated webinar, and this course was priced at $997. So we engaged with them in June of 2016, and we launched the campaign. And you can see, we kept our spend pretty low. We started at a little less than $80 a day, and over the course of June, we never went over $225 a day. And you can see we were bringing in leads. We were pretty close to our goal for our cost per lead. We weren't too far off. If there was conversion happening in the sales piece of this, they would have actually been profitable there. So, but the big thing is, you can see there's 0 sales, 0 sales, 0 sales. Now, we continued the campaign into July up until the 12th. And we kept running a bunch of different tests in there. We were getting a variety of different results with the cost per lead. But the bottom line was there was no sales. And this is very common. You see, they had built out this funnel based on recommendations from an internet marketing guru, and they had followed the process for putting together their presentation based on that. But just because they built it did not mean that people were going to buy. and we created some pretty good advertising. It wasn't the best. It hadn't performed as well as we wanted it to, but it was still bringing people in and they weren't buying. So what we did was we shut off the ads on July 11th, and we needed to look through the entire process to figure out where the problems were and make some corrections. So I looked through their entire presentation, made a series of different recommendations for that. We made a series of recommendations for the landing page. They went off and made those changes, so we didn't run any ads for the rest of July, and we had everything ready to go where we launched again on August 1st. So the first couple days, everything was coming out of the gate good. Our cost per lead was a lot better. We didn't have any sales, but then boom, August 4th, we hit a sale. Then we had a couple days where we didn't have sales, but we're seeing all the front-end metrics were awesome, so we started scaling the campaign, and then boom, the sales started coming through, and we hit consistent sales. We ended up with 107 sales for the month of August. We made $107,676 in revenue on $42,693.72 in ad spend. And so that proved to be what we needed to do. And so then, we scaled the campaign further in September. We got it up to almost $94,000 in ad spend. We generated $225,919. And then in October, it's October of 2016 right now, we've already spent almost $21,000 and made almost $59,000 this month already. So I want you to understand that just because you build a funnel does not guarantee sales. You have to start driving traffic into that funnel, use the data from that traffic and how things are actually working to make strategic changes, and then retest. Thankfully, we hit the mark on the second time. Sometimes this can take 4, 5, 6, 7 different variations or more, and it can take time. Okay, so here's another reason why traffic is exponentially more important than conversion. You see, the way that you set up your advertising to drive traffic into your conversion process actually has a huge impact on your conversion rates. Now, don't worry. I'm going to tell you the exact way to manage this delicate relationship between traffic and conversion. And once you start doing it this way, you'll save yourself a lot of time, hassle, headache, and frustration. Once you understand how to drive paid traffic profitably, you'll be able to build and optimize your conversion process around your traffic based on the real feedback that you're getting from real people going through your funnel, like a scientist. You'll never have to chase business again because you'll have a constant flow of leads coming in from your paid traffic sources. You'll gain predictability and control in your business. See, you control the traffic. You control the flow. And when referrals come in, they're icing on the cake, not something that you rely heavily on to sustain your business. And really, you'll never run out of money again because, quite frankly, it'll be impossible if you do it according to my guaranteed profitability formula, which I'll be covering shortly. So here's a little bit about me. My name is Jason Hornung. I'm the founder of JH Media LLC. I'm the president and creative director there. We were formerly known as Jason Hornung Agency, Inc. We're one of the most sought-after digital agencies in the world. We specialize in things like Facebook ads. We've run paid traffic campaigns for people like Agora Financial, Frank Kern, Mike Dillard, Todd Brown, Ryan Dice, Mike Filsamen, Andy Jenkins, T. Harv Eker, Brian Tracy, Robin Sharma. I'm an in-demand speaker and international marketing consultant. I've created the ultimate guide to mastering Facebook ads, widely considered to be a leading authority on paid traffic using the Facebook platform, and I manage over $1 million per month in Facebook ad spend that produces over 8 figures in annual sales from our advertising campaigns. All right, so clearly to get to this point, I've done a lot of things right, but I want you to know that I've done a lot more things wrong. You see, I'd never have figured out how to do paid traffic profitably if I hadn't tried and failed numerous times. It's these, I'm doing air quotes right now, failures that led to the successes that I've had. And I've learned so much more from trying things that didn't work out than I ever have from things that worked right immediately. Many times people come onto a training like this and they hold the presenter in some high regard, like, they're only successful because they have some kind of special powers or something. So I really want you to know that I'm nothing special. You see, my life has literally been like that example in the after school specials where they try to warn you against, what you shouldn't be doing. And if anyone should be unsuccessful, it's really me. I mean, I grew up in a trailer home with drug addict, alcoholic parents, and they divorced when I was 10. I had my first daughter, Haley, who is the one on the left of that picture there. 1 month after I turned 17, I flunked out of college. I went nearly bankrupt from numerous failed online business attempts. You see, the thing is I never gave up, and I've worked hard to develop a simple step-by-step system that you can basically duplicate to create profitable advertising, and it's been proven over and over and over again to do that. And so just to kind of back that up, here's what a few of my clients have to say about my systems for driving paid traffic profitably. Frank Kern wrote on my Facebook wall, he said, "Dude, I just looked at the reports over the past 45 days, and every dollar you spent on my campaigns has returned $2.17 back to me. I've done nothing, LL. You're basically making me free money. Thanks." And then Ryan Dice reported that, we did $990,000 in sales in just 30 days. That was on about $56,000 in ad spend. So every dollar that was invested, we got $16 back in profit like clockwork. And then Todd Brown wrote on my my Facebook wall, and he told me that for basically for every lead that comes in, we get about they're getting about $7, and that was just the front end transaction. So they know that they were extracting profit from every dollar that we were investing into traffic for them. And he wanted us to just keep on scaling it and doing what we'd been doing for him.
Hi, I'm Kendall Summerhawk of kendallsummerhawk.com and womenincoaching.com. And I want to tell you about the amazing service that Jason of Jason Hornung Agency has done for me. Jason and his team have transformed my business through the use of our social media advertising. And we have made, over the last 12 months, several $100,000 from the work that Jason and his team have done. So the money has been fantastic. And I think for me, what's even better is the level of service and the attention to detail. I cannot recommend Jason, Heather, his wife, and their whole team highly enough. And if you're looking at doing social media advertising, definitely check out Jason and his excellent team.
All right, so how do you get results like this with paid traffic? There are 5 myths that are preventing you from being profitable driving paid traffic with ads. And if you overcome these myths, you'll have the roadmap to growing your revenue in a reliable, predictable, and profitable way so you can finally have control over your income and your life. Let's talk about myth number 1. Advertising doesn't work. And many small business owners believe that advertising doesn't work. Perhaps you've bought billboards, bus benches, newspaper ads, or maybe you've built out a website or spent money on SEO companies, only to have little or no results. So what ends up happening is you come to this conclusion that it simply doesn't work. Or even the more dreaded, it won't work for my business because my business is different because everything I've done hasn't worked so far. You have this feeling for good reason because, if I put myself in your shoes and I tried on multiple occasions and it didn't work for me, I would have the same conclusion. See, the thing is your advertising was actually doomed from the start, and it's not your fault. You just didn't know how to approach it correctly, and here's why. You see, there's 2 types of advertising. There's the getting your name out there or brand advertising. You see, Madison Avenue specializes in brand advertising because it's super expensive and extremely hard to quantify. It works perfectly for big brands with billion-dollar budgets like Coca-Cola or Apple. It's also a long-term play, meaning you need to do it consistently over long periods of time to have a true impact on your business. I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of money, and I certainly don't want to wait to get leads and sales coming in. I want them now. See, the problem is this. Small business owners are taught Madison Avenue tactics are the way to advertise their business. This kind of advertising doesn't work for small businesses because they don't have the budgets or time to make it effective. Perhaps you've put your face on a bus bench for a month or 2. I bet it probably didn't do anything for you other than get a mustache drawn on your lip. Or maybe you've paid an SEO company thousands of dollars to get ranked for some keyword, only to have no idea if it's actually brought you a single customer or not. Getting your name out there is the old, antiquated way of doing things that simply won't work for small businesses. That's why when you ask yourself the question, how much do I have to spend when you're evaluating any of these new advertising opportunities? And that's really kind of a wrong way of thinking about it. The other type of advertising is ROI-driven or direct response advertising. And thankfully, that's the better way. You see, it's the shift from getting your name out there, because unless you have millions and millions of dollars to properly brand advertise, and even then, the whole concept is shaky at best, it ain't going to work. And you're shifting from that getting your name out there to getting their names in here, meaning your target market, getting them in here. I'd rather figure out how to reach those who are looking for me in a totally laser targeted way and get their information so that I can advertise to them stuff that they've said they're interested in, than doing and trying the whole spray and pray my message to everyone in the name of brand advertising, just hoping to make some money along the way. ROI-driven paid traffic is what we do for ourselves and our clients every day. And you can do it with very small budgets. We actually start all of our client campaigns at $150 a day, but you can do as little as $5 a day. You don't have to spend much to figure this stuff out, which is really awesome. And you can start making sales the first day, so you don't really have to wait to start being profitable. This is how to advertise in an easily quantifiable, measurable, and scalable way. So you're going to be attracting customers to you day in and day out in a predictable way, so you can finally put an end to chasing business. And once you understand how to drive paid traffic using ROI-driven direct response advertising, you'll never have to worry about money again. In fact, you'll even shift your thinking from how much do I have to spend to how much can I spend on your advertising. You see, the example I showed you earlier about inbound marketing, I keep getting questions from those guys every single day. How much higher can we scale? How much higher can we scale? And that's consistent with all of our clients, because once you're spending money and you're producing a return, there's no reason to stop. You just want to keep going and going and going. And it shifts that mindset from, all right, how much do I have to spend on this, to how much can I spend? And it gets super exciting. That's the mindset that all of my successful clients have. And to prove this, I'm going to play a video from one of those clients, Mike Dillard. He's a multimillionaire entrepreneur and host of the #1 self-help podcast. It's called The Self-Made Man. We started Mike's campaign at $150 a day. We're now spending up to $4,000 per day and producing a 325% return on ad spend. In other words, for every dollar that we spend on ads, we bring in $4.25 to Mike's business.
Hey guys, Mike Dillard here, and I just wanted to record this video for you real quick. If you're thinking about working with Jason Hornung and his agency, I've been a client now for about 3 or 4 months, and it has been an absolutely awesome experience. In fact, the best I've ever had working with a Facebook agency. Over the last 90 days, we've taken one product offer that I put together a few months ago. Jason's team took it. They did all of the audience research for me. They did all of the ads for me. We put up the campaign, took it live, and we're averaging over $100,000 a month in revenue with less than $30,000 a month in ad spend. So we're making almost 3 times back our money over our advertising costs, which has been phenomenal. And I get reports every single day, so I have all of my data for the very first time, which is awesome. And they're super responsive, and so I just wanted to make this video to say thank you to Jason and his team. The experience has been awesome, and if you're thinking about hiring them or buying one of his courses, you can't go wrong. This has been an absolutely amazing experience for me. So thanks so much, and good luck with you and your business endeavors.
All right, so let's talk about myth number 2. You need to have a fancy, elaborate website or marketing funnel in order to make sales from paid traffic. Here's our highest grossing funnel right here. It's a 5-page funnel. So it basically starts with an opt-in page where we collect people's email addresses. We send them to a thank you page after that. The email addresses that we are collecting are for registering for a webinar, just like the one that you're on right now. People attend the webinar, so there's a page where the webinar is displayed. Then we make an offer on the webinar, and people click over to an order form where they can order that if they so choose. And then after completing the order form, they get sent to a thank you page telling them how to get what they paid for. It is a 5-page funnel. It is super simple. In July of 2016, for just one of our clients, we spent about $350,000 driving traffic into this funnel right here. And it generated just over $1 million in gross revenue. And it's just using this simple 5-page funnel. There's no content. We're not writing blog posts, driving traffic to that first, then retargeting people. Nothing elaborate like that. There's no JVs at all with this. This is all paid traffic. It's totally controlled and scaled. All of our highest grossing clients are actually using similar super simple funnels. And none of them are using these elaborate tripwires or VSLs or product launch funnels at all. You know what the crazy part is? We have a client that does over 8 figures per year, and they only have a 3-page funnel. All they've got is an opt-in, a sales page, and a thank you page. So why would you start with something simple? Eric Ries is the author of the popular blog Startup Lessons Learned, and he's the creator of the Lean Startup methodology. He co-founded and serves as the CTO of IMVU, which is his 3rd startup. And today it's got over 40 million users. Their revenue in 2009 alone was $22 million. So he knows a thing or two about, building a startup and scaling it. His book, The Lean Startup, has many lessons that we can apply toward marketing funnels and advertising with paid traffic. So Ries says this: too many startups begin with an idea for a product that they think people want. Then they spend months, sometimes years, perfecting that product without ever even showing the product, even in a very rudimentary form, to the prospective customer. When they fail to reach broad uptake from customers, it is often because they never spoke to prospective customers and determined whether or not the product was interesting. When customers ultimately communicate through their indifference that they don't care about the idea, the startup fails. Now, your company may or may not be a startup. However, I see the same thing happening with marketing funnels and product offers that people are making online. Business owners spend all this time, effort, and energy building out an elaborate website or funnel without having any feedback from potential customers, meaning they haven't driven any traffic into it to get that feedback to see if it works, like what I showed you earlier in that example with inbound marketing. Ries illustrates his process in the image that you see on the screen. He champions building what he calls an MVP, which stands for minimum viable product. See, Ries states that the first step is figuring out the problem that needs to be solved and then developing a minimum viable product, or MVP, to begin the process of learning as quickly as possible. Once the MVP is established, a startup can work on tuning the engine. You see, that's the build phase that he shows in this image here. And then what you do is once you build that minimum viable product, then you start to drive traffic in it, you measure the results, then you learn from the results and rebuild as necessary, just like I illustrated with inbound marketing a little bit earlier. See, because this concept of the minimum viable product applies to your marketing funnel. You want to get the minimum viable funnel in place so you can start driving that paid traffic into it and begin that process of learning as quick as possible. Then you can fine tune the funnel and build on it if you need to. You may actually come out of the gate, if you do all of your work right, you understand your ideal customer, you understand your market properly, you may build a funnel that will come out of the gate working properly. So you may not have to go through that change process like we did with inbound marketing. All right. Now, we ran traffic to that offer after establishing the minimum viable funnel. We found out we didn't have conversions like we talked about. And then we used that data that we had from those tests to make those strategic changes into the funnel. And that's how this whole process works. All right, so here's myth number 3. Getting quality traffic is complex and expensive. Let's talk about why Facebook ads for traffic, because this is really the primary place that we buy traffic for ourselves and our clients. First of all, Facebook is considered a top-tier traffic platform, along with places like Google AdWords and Bing Search, meaning that the traffic quality is better than the majority of advertising platforms out there. Facebook is set up perfectly for ROI-driven direct response advertising, and it's actually growing rapidly. What I want to do is take you out to this article that I found real quick here, and I'll illustrate how that is working. You see, this was from January of 2016. At the time, Facebook had already driven up to 1.59 billion users, and you can see here how the growth has happened over the last 3 years. So, in quarter 4 of 2013, they were at 1.2 billion users. By the end of quarter 4 of 2015, just 2 years later, they had grown by over 0.3 billion users. So over 300 million people were added in just about a 2-year period. And you can see how it's scaling up and up and up. And the thing is that very few people around the world are still online. There's all these undeveloped countries where they're now starting to come online. And so that use of the use of people on the internet and on Facebook is just growing and growing and growing. It's going to keep going up. So it's a great place to be advertising. Like I said, there's more than 1.5 billion people on Facebook, and they allow you to narrowly target their users. And this is better than all the other top tier platforms. So what this will allow you to do is put your ads in front of the right people at the right time in the right way. Facebook is also all-knowing. If the internet were the universe, Facebook is like God because of this thing that they call Pixel. It's a little piece of code that Facebook gives every advertiser on their platform. Millions of advertisers put Facebook's Pixel code on their site, basically giving Facebook all the data it needs to know what sites you visit, what you're interested in, and what makes you tick. And that data is our treasure. That's how we target exactly the right person at exactly the right time. Now, to illustrate how narrowly you can target people with Facebook, I want to show you another article. This is a famous blog post that went around on this website called ghostinfluence.com. I'm going to refresh it real quick here. Basically, the guy who owns this website, what he decided to do was prank his roommate using Facebook ads. So what Brian Switchko was able to do was, if you read through the article, he was able to show an ad to just his roommate, and he started putting these ads together and sending them to his roommate and totally freaking him out on Facebook by showing just these ads to him and kind of pranking him on there. So I wanted to show you this to illustrate that with Facebook you can get extremely narrowly targeted with your ads. And so that's what ultimately makes advertising successful, is when you get that message in front of the right person at the right time in the right way. All right, here's another reason why Facebook is set up perfectly for ROI-driven direct response advertising. They have all of the systems in place to track and optimize your advertising so you can make it profitable. The pixel that we talked about is what allows you to accomplish all of this. Facebook will even help you out with your campaigns. They use the data that's coming in from your pixel to auto-optimize your campaigns for you. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna start to show your ads to people who have a higher probability of buying from you. And this is all based off of their history on the pixel, because they can see what these people that you're trying to show your ads to, they can see what kind of offers they respond to, what things that they've bought, all because of this pixel, this all-knowing pixel. And what that means is as you're running your ads and Facebook is doing this work for you in the background, it means that your campaigns get better and better over time, because Facebook helps you to make more sales so you don't have to spend as much time managing your campaign. There is no other traffic platform that does this for you. So not only is it more cost effective and set up better for advertising than other top tier platforms, they also will do a lot of the work for you so you're a lot more successful a lot quicker. All right, so here's another thing. Facebook is simple to set up ads. You can literally have a campaign up and running in less than 10 minutes. It doesn't take long to put ads together and put it up in their platform. Now, I want you to just don't confuse simple for easy. Just because something is simple does not mean that getting all of the elements right to make it profitable is easy. So don't make that mistake. Our clicks average far less than $1 for most of our clients. You simply can't get better costs than that on any other top tier platform. Doesn't happen. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Like I said before, you can start your campaigns with as little as $5 per day and you can get results. And here's another thing, that Madison Avenue, the old way of advertising, it don't even work on Facebook. Now here's a screenshot of an article that I read a while back here, and basically it was when GM, they got off of Facebook saying Facebook ads don't work, and then Ford was like, yeah, right, they do work, GM's just using them wrong. And if you go on to read the article, basically what they went to say was GM was trying to apply Madison Avenue tactics inside the Facebook platform, and that doesn't work because it's a totally different environment. All right, here's myth number 4. Advertising is just like going to the casino. Have you ever felt that way before? Here's the thing about going to a casino. The odds are stacked in favor of the house, meaning the casino wins a lot more than it loses. What if I told you there was a way to stack the odds in your favor when doing paid traffic? What if I told you there's a way to actually engineer a guaranteed return on your ad spend so that you can orchestrate a minimum of a 2-to-1 return? Would that change your opinion of advertising if you knew you could put in $1 and get out $2, $3, $5, even $16 or more every time you spent that dollar? Well, here's a message I got from John Tarr on my Facebook timeline, and he wrote in about some work that we did for him. In 1 week, we spent $5,300, made $24,000. So that's almost a 5-to-1 return on ad spend. Would you like to know how to engineer a guaranteed return on your ad spend and know whether your business model will be profitable with paid traffic before you ever put up an ad? Just type in the chat and let me know. Because here's the thing. My buddy Jermaine Griggs told me this, and it's totally true. You see, his grandmother said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that's what this is all about. So let's actually look at how to make dollars with paid traffic. All right, so what I did was I did some drawing on my whiteboard, and then I took some screenshots so that we could illustrate all of this stuff. Now, in order to understand how to make dollars with paid traffic, we need to talk about metrics first. Metrics are the key to doing ROI-driven paid traffic profitably. This is how we engineer that guaranteed return on our ad spend that I'm talking about. By understanding what our metrics need to be and then manipulating our ads and our funnels to hit those metrics. However, people can get lost in metrics, especially with Facebook ads. So there's really only 7 metrics that we track in our agency, and I'm going to show you these, what they are and why. So what we've done on the left over here is I've listed out 5 different metrics. We have CPC, which stands for cost per click. That means how much do you pay every time somebody clicks on your ad. Then we've got CTR, which is your click-through rate. That's the percentage of people that see your ad and are actually clicking on it. So, if your click-through rate is 1%, that means 1 out of every 100 people that see your ad are actually clicking on it. CPL stands for cost per lead. That's just if we're generating leads, like in the funnel example I showed you, where we were getting registrations for a webinar. Every time somebody gives us their name and or email address, we consider that to be a lead. And so that's how much it costs us to generate one of those leads. LP conversion rate, that stands for landing page conversion rate. So again, if we're driving traffic to an opt-in page, that would be our landing page. And we want to look at what is the percentage of people that visit that page and are actually completing the action that we want them to take. So if we were to drive traffic to a webinar registration page, what is the percentage of people that see that page that actually register for the webinar? Then we have our SP conversion rate, and that's our sales page conversion rate. So, out of all the people that see our offer, what is the percentage of them that are actually buying? Or out of all the people that get into our marketing funnel, what is the percentage of them that are buying? And then on the right, we have CPA, which stands for cost per acquisition. So what that means is, how much does it cost us in ad spend to generate one customer? And then we have AOV, which stands for average order value. So when we generate that customer, on average, how much money is each customer giving us when they make a purchase? Now, I organize those metrics on the left-hand side, and I show on the screen there that we call those optimization metrics. So these are metrics that we track to determine whether something is working or not, either on our ads or our funnel. And then we use that data then to make those strategic changes based on what's working and not working. So there's no guesswork involved. The numbers will tell us if our ad is working or not. Our numbers will tell us if the funnel is working or not. And then if the funnel's not working, then we can go ahead and start making some changes to that, like I showed you in the inbound marketing example earlier. On the right, the CPA and the AOV, those are your bottom line metrics. That just tells you flat out, are you making money or not? All right, so let's go into the guaranteed profitability formula. All you actually have to do in order to guarantee your profitability with paid traffic is to master this math, and it's basically third grade math. So if you can get your CPA to be less than your AOV, you're going to be profitable. Okay, so let me say that in another way. If you can get the cost per acquisition, or how much you pay to get a customer, to be less than the average order value, or the amount of money each of those customers gives you on average, you can't be anything but profitable. So let me say this in another way just to really solidify this point. If we pay $1 to get a customer, and that customer gives us $2 on average, we can't be anything but profitable. That is guaranteed profitability. Now, there are some other instances where we got to factor in hard costs and stuff like that. So, you'll need to, modify some of the things that you're doing to factor in those pieces of the puzzle. But keep that in mind as we're going through here. I'm going to show you how to go about, orchestrating and engineering this in your advertising in your funnel. All right. So now let's talk about how we establish these metrics before we launch a campaign, so we know that we can be profitable before spending a penny on ads. So what I've done is I've moved the metrics over onto the left here. And then I've drawn out a super simple funnel. This is a 3-page funnel. This is a common funnel if you've been exposed to the internet marketing space. This is what we call a video sales letter funnel, or VSL. So basically we would have an ad that drives paid traffic to an opt-in page, where on that opt-in page we are asking somebody to give us their email address in exchange for a video that teaches them something. And so then when they put in their email address, we redirect them over to this page where we have this video, and this video delivers real valuable content. And then at the end, it makes an offer to somebody to buy the product if they would like to continue to work with the person presenting on the video. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to say on that video, we're selling a $300 product. We're not going to have any upsells or downsells in this page. So basically, when they complete the order on that page, they're just going to get sent over to a thank you page. This will make the math really easy for how we calculate these things out. But if you're running a business and you've got upsells and downsells, what you'll want to do is look at, what are your historical average order values in your cart. All right, so here's how we go about establishing what our average order value and our CPA goal should be when we're trying to engineer a minimum of a 2-to-1 return on ad spend. So because we don't have any upsells or downsells, we only have the one product. So every time somebody buys, they're giving us $300. So that means our average order value is $300. All right, now if we want to get a 2-to-1 return on ad spend, then all we have to do is take that average order value and divide it by 2. And that's where I got our CPA of $150. So basically, if we can orchestrate our process so that we spend $150 to get a customer, that customer is going to give us $300, we've got a 2-to-1 return over our ad spend. Now again, if you have some hard costs in here, you're going to have to factor some of those things in. But this gives you a 2-to-1 minimum over your ad spend, and it should create room for some of that overhead and everything like that, and still make you profitable. Okay, now if you're trying to get a different type of return, then all you do is like let's say you want to get a 4-to-1 return, then you would take your $300 AOV, divide it by 4, and that would tell you what CPA goal you'd want to be if you're trying to get a better return. Now we model these all out for a 2-to-1 return on ad spend because we find that to be a really easily doable minimum, and then we oftentimes end up being a lot better than that depending on the business model and the metrics of that particular business. So here's where things start getting a little bit trickier. As I'm illustrating this, I'm going to be using some big numbers to make the math easy. I am not telling you that you need to spend this type of money to start a campaign. And I repeat, this is just an illustration to make the math easy. Remember, you can start ad campaigns on Facebook with as little as $5. You do not need to spend the kind of money that I'll be showing in this illustration to start a campaign, but you will want to spend this kind of money once you're profitable, like I'll be showing you here. Okay? So let's talk about how we get some of these other numbers into the system. What I like to do is kind of back into them by figuring out what it would take to generate 100 customers for my business. All right, so if I want to get 100 customers and each of these customers is worth $300 to me, that's going to generate $30,000 in revenue. It's just 100 times $300, and that's why I have that 30,000 revenue in parentheses on the right-hand side there. Now, if you are, this is where it gets tricky, because if you are already running a marketing funnel online and you've got some data, then what you're going to want to do is use your existing numbers. So if you know what your sales page is converting at, whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever, then you're going to want to use that actual figure. If you haven't been running anything yet and you're just kind of trying to figure out, are you going to be profitable with this type of funnel, or, doing advertising into a funnel you might have up but you haven't run any ads, then you have to use a benchmark. Okay? So typically what we'll see for conversion rates on this type of funnel is anywhere from 1 to 3% of all of the leads will buy the product. Okay? So in this case, I'm just using 3% as the conversion rate as a benchmark to see if I can be profitable if I convert 3% of my leads into a sale. So what I'm going to do is try to figure out how many leads do I need to get to generate those 100 customers. So I took 100 and I divided it by 0.03, which is 3%. And that tells us that we need 3,333 leads in order to generate those 100 customers. All right, so now what I want to do is figure out, how many clicks am I going to need to generate those 3,333 leads? So we continue to do math backwards, and we're going to figure out what our landing page conversion rate needs to be here. So again, if you're running a marketing funnel already, what you're going to want to do is plug in your existing landing page conversion rate number. If you don't have one, what we use when we're modeling this stuff out is we always use a minimum of 20%. We find that with paid traffic, if you've got your message to market match right, you should get no less than 20% of people who click on your ad, go to your opt-in page. You should have no less than 20% of them complete the form on that page and become a lead to get into your funnel. Okay, so if we want to figure out how many clicks that we need to have to generate those 3,333 leads, what we do is take 3,333, we divide it by 0.2, and that tells us that we need 16,667 clicks. And if we get that, and we've got a 20% conversion rate, then we're going to get 3,333 leads. And if 3% of those leads buy, then we're going to generate 100 customers. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we go about getting the cost per click that we need to target our ads for in order to make all this math work out right. So what I did over here was I wrote in the sideline here that you can't spend more than $15,000. Okay, so where did I come up with that? Well, we have our CPA goal of 150, and so if we don't want to spend more than 150 to acquire a customer, and we're trying to figure out how to get 100 customers, I took 100 times 150, that's $15,000. So if we spend $15,000, we make $30,000, we're getting that minimum of a 2-to-1 return that we're looking for. So all I did was take the 16,667 clicks, and you divide that by $15,000, and that gives us 89 cents a click. So what that's telling us is if we can get our clicks for 89 cents, we get a 20% conversion rate on our opt-in page to lead, and we get 3% of those leads to buy. We're going to generate 100 customers. We'll spend $150 to generate each one of those customers. Each one of those customers is going to give us $300. We're going to make that 2-to-1 return on our ad spend, and we're going to be happy. The last two numbers that we have to come up with here in these metrics is the CTR and the CPL. So the CPL is just a function of what our cost per click is and our landing page conversion rate. So how we calculate that out is pretty simple. So if we look at our conversion rate on the landing page, that's 20%. 20% is 1 out of every 5 clicks are becoming a lead. Okay, so if we're paying 89 cents a click and 1 out of every 5 of those clicks is becoming a lead, if we just take that 89 cents and times it by 5, then it's going to give us $4.49. Another way that we could calculate the cost per lead as well is we can look at, how much did we spend on the ads? And so in this example, we spent $15,000 on the ads, and we got 3,333 leads. So if we take this $15,000 and we divide it by 3,333, that's going to give us $4.49 per lead. With click-through rate, you can't calculate that out because that just gets determined by what actually happens when you launch the ad. So your click-through rate is going to be your click-through rate. So if you're getting a 1%, you're going to get a 1%. What we like to do is use a benchmark of 3% or greater. And what we found is the reason we're shooting for that, the reason we put that on our guaranteed profitability formula as a benchmark that we're going after is we found that if you can get your click-through rate to be 3% or greater, then your cost per click is pretty much guaranteed to be below $1. And in almost all of these circumstances, you're going to want to be below $1 in order to make all this math work out. Okay, so now what we know is we've got all these metrics on the left-hand side, and we know what all these numbers need to be before we ever launch a campaign. So we know we need to get clicks at 89 cents. We know we want our click-through rate to be 3% or greater. We know we need our leads to be $4.49 or less. We know we need our landing page to convert at 20% or greater. We know we need our sales page to convert at 3% or greater. And then if we do all those things, then we're going to get a CPA of $150 or less, and we'll get an AOV of $300, and we're going to make a 2-to-1 return on our ad spend. Right? So when you do launch your campaign, you're going to do this using an extremely small test budget. And like I said earlier, what we do with our clients is we start at usually about $150 a day. And then what we're doing is we're testing to see how these numbers actually perform, like I showed you earlier on that spreadsheet from Inbound Marketing. And then what we do is we're going to make tweaks to our ads and our funnel until we get to all of these benchmarks so that all of the numbers are making sense and we're profitable. Then we go to scale. Okay, so let me stress that we're talking about using very small budgets. You don't need to spend this $15,000 that I'm showing in this example. This was just an illustration to make the math easy. Okay, and you can use these formulas to calculate out your profit based on any budget. Okay, so it doesn't have to be spending $15,000. You can calculate this out on any budget. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to modify the way that you calculate these things based on your specific business model. I'm showing one example here. There's numerous different business models out there. We can't possibly take the time to go through how to calculate that out for all of them. But what you just do is modify this for your particular business model. I actually used to be a registered representative having a Series 6 and 63 license, and I would sell mutual funds and variable life insurance to people in my insurance agency. And people would happily put money into these mutual funds that are in the stock market and try to get a 10% return compounded annually. Thing is with mutual funds, there's zero control over that investment. What we're able to do is get a 200% plus return on our investment every single month through advertising on Facebook, just by following this guaranteed profitability formula and then adjusting things until it works to this level or better. So if you think about it, like people are normally happy to get a 10% annualized return that's compounded annually. We're talking about getting a 200% return compounded monthly. It's exponential in the amount of growth, and it's extremely controlled. You have 100% control over this, which you don't have in the stock market. All right, here's myth number 5. You can run paid traffic profitably all on your own. My recommendation is that you invest in mentorship and learn from the best. If you wanted to climb Mount Everest, would you just go fly out to Nepal with no training and start climbing without a Sherpa? So why would you try to get to the heights of running paid traffic all by yourself? It doesn't make any sense. In the last year alone, I've spent over $100,000 on business mentors to help me with every aspect of my company because I don't know everything, and I want to use somebody that's already been there, already done that, like a Sherpa, that's going to guide me to the heights of where I want to be and going to train me in what I need to do in order to get there. Let me show you what can happen for somebody who's never wrote an ad before when they have the proper training and person to guide them to reaching the heights of running ads. This is John Hutchison. He posted on my Facebook wall. He wrote in and said, "Results is what it's all about. Jason Hornung, big thank you. I implemented the application funnel with some tweaks. My results, $1,307 in ad spend, $14,000 in sales." And the way that he set these up was these were recurring billing from people. And so just on the first month alone, he had 1,000+% ROI. So you can see he was clearly happy about that. And if everybody kept their recurring billing payments, he would make $168,000 from that $1,307 in ad spend. It took him about 4 weeks to build the funnel and then run these ads, which, as he says, is not too shabby. And then Mitch Miller wrote in, he said he was running some Facebook ads for a client, did not do any split testing, had a 9 out of 10 relevance score, 7.7% CTR, 201 clicks for $45, meaning he was paying 23 cents a click. And most importantly, 300% ROI on the money. That was a very small test, but he said that this was the teachings by me that allowed him to be able to do that. All right, what I'm going to do next is play a video from another client to illustrate how having the right guidance from the right person can help you to achieve massive success with advertising on Facebook.
2 months ago, I started a brand new store, and I really started pumping out a lot of ads, a lot of cool content, a lot of awesome products, and I think I got up to about $800 a day, but I was having trouble scaling. So one of my business partners, Shakir Hussain, he was like, "Look, you got to go to this thing. This guy does Facebook training. He runs a lot of ads for like a lot of big names, and he knows what he's doing." And I was like, and I've taken a lot of Facebook courses before, and it's just like most of them, it's like they're just like, "Here's how you set up a fan page," and I'm just like, "Oh my goodness!" So I was like, I really hope this event isn't like that. So I got there to Jason's place, and I didn't know what to expect. At that point, I thought I knew everything. I was making like $800 to $1,000 a day. I was like, I got this all figured out. I got it all, and then 5 minutes into it, I was like, "Oh crap, I don't know anything." So I was sitting there, and most of the people that were there were network. They had like some sort of business where you need to bring people in and through funnels and stuff and run ads that way, and that really didn't apply to what I was doing because I was just running a simple e-com store where I just drive traffic to like a page and they just buy from there. So I sat there for 3 days, I think it was, but after day one, my brain already felt like a potato. It was just like all this information that I didn't even know, was around. I was never exposed to that kind of information. So, Jason taught me a lot. So after the third day, he taught us scaling, so the proper ways of scaling, and a whole bunch of other stuff, like how to write your ads, how to do your targeting, all this crazy stuff that, I was like, man, I've kind of been doing it backwards. So as soon as I got home from that event, I went from $1,000 to $5,000, just doing exactly what he said, $5,000 a day. I was like, no way, this is like insane. This is insane. Like, how did I not know this? Why didn't I ever think of trying this before? So I started setting up every campaign the way he told me to do it. And I'm just going to show you some numbers that we've been getting. So right here you see that it says in the past 30 days we've spent $32,939 and we've made $116,800 or $116,864 or $5.24, which is a ridiculous number because to me I thought that was going to take me like a year or two to get to before I took the training with Jason. So basically I was just did exactly what he said.
In the past hour that we've been here, would you agree that it's been time well spent? Would you say that you've learned some great stuff and it's exciting? I mean, just imagine if you had $100,000 plus per month coming into your business on autopilot from Facebook ads, just like me and my clients. The problem is an hour really is only enough time to barely scratch the surface of what it takes to get to that level. Would you like to learn more about how I can help you implement what you learned today, along with getting clarity, certainty, and focus with your paid advertising? You really kind of have two choices at this point. You can go at this alone, spend tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars, figuring this stuff out, getting frustrated and wasting years of your life along the way. Or you can learn the proven system from somebody who has not just done it, but actually mastered it and is the best in the world at it. Before we move forward, let's talk about rich versus poor. My brother is working poor. He works laying tile for my cousin and he brings home about $2,000 per month. He can't even afford to pay for health insurance for his entire family. I have to loan him money for things like groceries, Christmas presents, and all kinds of other stuff. Every time he has something come up, I'm loaning him money to help him out. And because of his financial situation, though, he ends up getting a pretty big tax return each year. Guess what he does with that money? He buys TVs, cell phones, and tablets for the kids. And just like Robert Kiyosaki said in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, poor people purchase liabilities. Things that don't bring any more money back to them. It's just a cost. Just those TVs and all those electronics, that doesn't bring anything back to them. It's just money going out the door. Rich people, they purchase assets. Things that money goes into and turns into more money. And what I want to offer you today is an opportunity to invest in an asset that will allow you to master paid traffic, and it will pay you dividends well into the future. This asset gives you power to choose opportunities. And once you see how it works, you'll not only want to apply it to your existing business, but you'll likely see opportunities in other businesses as well. And if you're the person I talked about earlier who might not have a business, but see yourself helping others to grow their business as a consultant, learning traffic is the end-all, be-all. Everyone needs it, but hardly anybody knows how it works because of all that old thinking that we talked about. And so when you master this, and you'll be in demand. With that being said, what I want to introduce you to is the Facebook Ads Profit Maximizer Bootcamp. This is a multi-module virtual training course that covers the exact processes and systems that we use in our agency to get our clients amazing results with paid traffic on Facebook day in and day out. It's completely current to what's working right now in the marketplace. It's everything we're doing to get my clients like Mike Dillard over $100,000 of revenue per month exclusively from Facebook ads. These processes and systems have been born out of spending over $10 million on Facebook ads in the last 3 years. It's the most complete, most current, and most proven way to get a consistent flow of customers from Facebook ads without getting your account shut down that's ever been created. And this is how you can get certainty, clarity, and focus in your advertising and your marketing funnel, because it's going to take all the guesswork out of this entire process. You see, each module is a full video training on a specific process or system that we're using in our agency, and it takes you from the beginning all the way through the end. So we start with planning your campaign and we go all the way through scaling and getting up to these huge profit margins that we're talking about for some of our clients here. Here's what you're going to get. The first module is the Inception Campaign Planning System. I put a $495 value on this. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt like doing Facebook ads or any advertising for that matter is just a bunch of guesswork, where you just hope to find something that produces a result for you? Well, it doesn't have to be that way. You see, in this module, what we're going to do is walk you through the entire process that we use in my agency to get inside the head of our ideal customer. Hence the name, the Inception Campaign Planning System. It's named after that movie Inception. You're going to discover how to gather crucial intelligence on your competitors and your ideal customers, along with how to use this information to develop offers and ads that emotionally compel buyers to pull out their wallet and buy your product. This is the most overlooked and neglected part of running Facebook ads. And if you do not do this piece, I can guarantee you that you will fail. Module 2 is the Alchemy Targeting Method. Again, this is a $495 value. In this module, you're going to discover how to turn your intelligence that you gathered in Module 1 into gold. I'm going to walk you through a super simple free Facebook tool that they give you that will allow you to select your targets that contain buyers for you. That's right, there's no guesswork involved here either. Facebook will literally accept your research and then show you who you should be advertising to. In Module 3, we go through the 8-point psychoanalytical ad creation process. And this is the process that I use to consistently crank out ads that bring over 7 figures in revenue for our clients. The cool part about this is you do not need to be a great writer. You're going to get 5 different frameworks that I use for Facebook ads. These frameworks allow you to quickly use the info that you gathered in Module 1 to write ads that people love and generate sales profitably for you. On top of that, what it'll also do is it'll allow you to keep your ad account in the good graces of Facebook. You see, this is actually one of the secrets that we use in my agency to run highly profitable campaigns at huge scale without getting our accounts shut down. It's all in how you write those ads. And we're going to walk you through that step by step in this module. Module 4 is the Archetypical Campaign Setup System, another $495 value. I want to ask you another question here. Have you ever been inside the Facebook Ads Manager or the Power Editor before? If you have, you've seen how damn confusing it can be. You got all these different campaign objectives to choose from. There's numerous settings for targeting, bidding, ads, etc., etc. It's a lot to take in for most people. And the problem is, if you don't know exactly what you're doing here, the chances of success are very small. In this module, you'll discover exactly how we set up winning campaigns. I'll walk you through all the settings we use from the start and explain why we use all of these different settings. So you get the what, why, and the how. So you have a complete view of everything and a complete understanding. Plus, you'll see all the insider tools that we use to set up and launch campaigns that will literally save you hours of time and countless headaches trying to put ads together and find out what works and what doesn't work. In Module 5, we're going to go through the absolute threshold optimization process. I put a $495 value on this module as well. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take part of what you discover in Module 1 and we're gonna show you how to establish the numbers for your business that will make you profitable. It's that guaranteed profitability formula that we went through earlier. We're going to go deeper into that, and I'm going to show you exactly how you figure that out for your business. And those numbers then become what we call the absolute threshold for your business to be successful with paid traffic. You're going to use these numbers as a basis for making decisions in your campaign, and they will tell you what ads are working and what ads are not working. Then I'm going to show you exactly how we manipulate those numbers within Facebook to optimize your campaign so it's producing a minimum 2-to-1 return on your ad spend. This is super simple, and it can be done with just about 15 to 30 minutes per day of your time. And it takes, again, all of the guesswork out of this process and allows you to remove emotion from the equation because everything is based on hard numbers that are easy to follow. Numbers don't lie. And then once you hit that 2-to-1 return mark or better, then you're ready for Module 6, which is the 3D Profit Scaling System 2.0, again, a $495 value. See, one of the worst feelings in the world is this. You get a campaign going, it's working at a small budget, let's just say 20 bucks per day. And then you go to scale it and you start losing money. On the surface, it doesn't make sense and it's frustrating as hell. In this module, you're going to discover the inner secrets of the Facebook algorithm so that you can manipulate it to scale your campaigns as high as your 10 to little heart desires without losing money. In fact, you'll be able to maintain healthy profit margins of at least 2-to-1 return on any budget, even higher than $5,000 per day. You're going to learn how to scale campaigns on 3 different dimensions, and you're not going to find this training anywhere else. It's a proprietary method that I invented, and it is the reason I'm able to help my clients and students get amazing and well-documented results with their Facebook ad campaigns. So if you add up the total of this core training, the total value is $2,970. But that's not all. We're going to give you a first bonus. And what I've done is I've added in new modules. I've created an entire beginner level training. So if you're coming into this, you've never run a Facebook ad before, we have a series of 5 modules that are going to take you through everything from setting up your ad account, setting up your fan page, getting Business Manager established. I'm going to walk you through how to use all of these different tools, including the Ads Manager, the Power Editor, and a third-party tool that we use for publishing ads, which you'll find out about inside the training. I'm going to keep that secret from everybody here because it's one of our little insider secrets, only available to our customers and our clients. But we're going to walk you through how to use all of those things. And that way you'll have a good understanding of what you're doing in there so that when we move you over into the core training, you'll be able to take off with that and start running with it. I put a $95 value on this 5-module beginner level training course. Bonus number 2 is going to be the ultimate guide to mastering Facebook ads. I put a $295 value on this. This is the predecessor to our Facebook Ads Profit Maximizer Bootcamp that I'm offering you here today. So this is almost like the 1.0 version of the processes and systems that we use in our agency to get results for our clients. The videos are a little bit older. They were shot in 2014, but there is a lot of great strategic material in there that still applies today. So when you go into these videos, they'll be in the bonus section. The way that you're going to see how things look inside of Facebook is going to be a little bit old because they're a couple years old at this point. But there's a lot of great nuggets in here that you can use to actually grow and scale your campaigns. And to prove that to you, I want to just show you this quick screenshot right here. So back in June, I had Alexander. He had bought this program. We still sell it for $295, which is why I put that value on it. He bought the Ultimate Guide, and in 24 hours from implementing just one tip from inside of there, he made $7,000 on a $900 ad spend. So I just want to just show you that to prove that there is relevant information within that course, even though it is a little bit dated at this point. Bonus number 3, we're going to give you completely done-for-you checklists, scripts, quick start templates, and our proprietary step-by-step execution plans. It's a $995 value. So the way we've got all of the training aligned in here for the core training and the beginner training, I invested in a state-of-the-art membership website. Each module is its own individual module, and at the end of the module, you're going to get a series of questions to take a quiz to test your knowledge. When you test the knowledge, when you pass that quiz, you're going to get a digital badge showing that you've achieved a successful score on that quiz and that you've demonstrated knowledge and proficiency in that particular module. Then you're going to get checklists, scripts, templates, and a step-by-step execution plan that will show you how to go and take that material and then implement it into your business. At the end of the course, we actually have a final exam, and you're going to, with a successfully passing grade on that final exam, you will be certified as a Facebook media buyer from my JH Media LLC company. So we're going to give you a certification, and you're going to have demonstrated an intense knowledge of this material, and you'll have not only the complete understanding, but then you'll have all of these extra scripts, checklists, and execution plans that will help you take that knowledge and then go out and implement it into your business and get results. I put a $995 value on this, and I think that's extremely fair for what you're getting with this particular bonus. Now, I do want to show you something here that we got from Joel Irway. He wrote in on June 29th, and he said, I feel like I did about 3 years ago when I first got started learning how to build an online business. Staying up late researching, listening to courses, and consuming as much content as possible. Tonight, I'm 150% immersed in Jason Hornung's advertising course because it's just that good. I'm laying in bed, headphones on, notebook out, blown away by your stuff, my man. No doubt this will easily return my investment. Amazing stuff. No matter what level you are at in business, you're never at your peak. Never stop learning. All right, so let's recap everything that you're going to get here. You're going to get the Inception campaign planning system, the Alchemy targeting method, the 8-point psychoanalytical ad creation process, the archetypical campaign setup system, the absolute threshold optimization process, the 3D profit scaling system 2.0. You're going to get the beginner level training modules, the ultimate guide to mastering Facebook ads course, and then all of the completely done for you checklist scripts, quick start templates, and our proprietary execution plans. That's a total value of $4,355. If all this did was give you the ability to create clients and customers on demand at a 2-to-1 return or better, would that be worth it to you? If it were only able to give you some dependability and consistency of income so you can count on your business growing each month instead of staying stagnant or declining, would it be worth it? What if all this did was allow you to create ads that Facebook loves so your account stays active and you get traffic coming and people becoming leads and sales? Would that be worth it? What's one client worth to you? Is it $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 more? We've got a lot of people that are at that place. I mean, how much would you pay to get one new highly qualified client per month or one new client per week or per day? You can see why our agency clients are paying us $60,000 to $100,000 per year on retainer to drive traffic to them through this profit maximizer system. If you sell a product at just $300, like the example I showed earlier, and you're able to generate sales on demand at a 2-to-1 return or better, would it make sense to pay me just $4,355 one time to set this up with you? If you sell a product or service at $5,000, would it make sense to pay me just $4,355 one time to set this up with you? Then every sale after number one is just pure profit. Actually, the first sale would even have profit built into there for you. So you can see why it's a good deal at $4,355, but because you're giving me your valuable time today, I want to add in another bonus. And this is 1 year full access to the Secret Order of Traffic and Conversion paid mastermind. This is a $97 per month value. This is a private Facebook group that you're going to get access to that is moderated by one of my team members, Rory Stern. So what you'll be able to do is come into there, ask questions about your campaigns, ask questions about what you're learning in the platform. You're going to be able to get help from Rory. I will be in there from time to time helping people out, and we've got a community of well over 150 other clients that are running paid traffic through Facebook, and they really contribute inside of there. So you can ask questions, get feedback from other members, and then you can also mastermind with people in the group and develop business relationships, which happens quite frequently. If you've never been a part of a mastermind, I am involved in many masterminds, and I can contribute a huge portion of my business growth to being involved in masterminds. So this is highly valuable and will really, really, really help you to be successful with running your Facebook ad campaigns. Tyson Zahner is one of the members inside of our group. He posted these questions in here, and then what we were able to do is, he was having some issues, and we were able to then analyze his issues, help him fix these problems, and get his campaigns back on track. So, this is just an example of how you can leverage that group to get to where you want to be. All right, I am so confident that you are going to get results by taking this course and applying it into your business that I want to do something completely different than what most people do with their refund policies and things like that. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue you my Brass Balls 30-day money-back challenge. You see, what I want you to do is I want you to prove to me that my systems for creating profitable Facebook advertising don't work. We've had hundreds upon hundreds of case studies. You've seen a whole bunch of them throughout the course of this presentation of people that are taking this information, applying it, and getting great results, being highly profitable with their ads. So here's how this works. See, I want you to sign up today and complete the course. This can be done in as little as a day. And we actually track all of that throughout the membership site. So when you get access to the course, you're going to get access to the site called Academy of Advertising, where we house the course. This is our leaderboard right here. So this is where we track the progress for everybody and their scores. So a perfect score is 350. And you can see here we've had all these people get perfect scores in the course. And when we get down here, we start getting some of the 340s. We had one in the 340. These are just people that have the highest score. This isn't all of the people that have even taken this course already and are getting great results with their Facebook ads. So the whole thing is designed to move you through as quickly as possible, help you learn the material so that you can go out and apply it into your business. So I want you to go through there, complete the course, and then go out and run some campaigns. You see, you got to actually run some campaigns and spend some money to make money back after you apply what you learn in this course. So if over the course of the next 30 days you spend $1,000 on your campaigns and you haven't made back at least the amount of money that you invested in this course, and you can see that you're going to be profitable moving forward, I'll happily refund you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one step further, and I'm going to pay you $100 for quote unquote wasting your time by going through this and learning all this and applying it into your business. So that's what I want you to do. Prove to me that my systems don't work over the course of the next 30 days, and I'll happily refund you and compensate you $100 for your time. Let's recap what we're going to get. We've got the Inception Campaign Planning System, the Alchemy Targeting Method, the 8-point Psychoanalytical Ad Creation Process, the Archetypical Campaign Setup System, the Absolute Threshold Optimization Process, the 3D Profit Scaling System 2.0, the Beginner Level Training Modules, the Ultimate Guide to Mastering Facebook Ads, all the completely done-for-you checklists, scripts, quick start templates, and our proprietary execution plans, and then 1-year access into the Secret Order of Traffic and Conversion Paid Mastermind. That is a total value of $5,519. I'm going to give you another bonus. I call this the $6,000 swipe file. Now, there is ads in here that we have spent over $6,000 testing these ads out. So these are some of our most profitable ads, copy, and etc. We spent thousands of dollars testing this. So I put a $6,000 value because we show you the actual stats of up to, ads that we've spent up to $6,000. We've got other ads inside of there where we don't show you the stats, so it's actually a lot more than that. But that's why I put this value on it, is because we've spent a minimum of $6,000 testing these ads, and you're going to be able to, model them and use these formats into your own business. So let's recap all that stuff again. You got the Inception Campaign Planning System, the Alchemy Targeting Method, the 8-point Psychoanalytical Ad Creation Process, the Archetypical Campaign Setup System, the Absolute Threshold Optimization Process, the 3D Profit Scaling System 2.0, the Beginner Level Training Modules, the Ultimate Guide, the done-for-you checklist, scripts, quick start templates, our proprietary execution plans, access to the Secret Order of Traffic and Conversion Paid Mastermind, and then the $6,000 swipe file. It's a total value of $11,519. So you can see why it'd be an insanely good deal at $4,355. I'm not going to ask you to pay $4,355 or even $3,000 here today. You can actually get started now. Normally, we sell this course for $1,995 today. I'm going to go one step further for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a $500 discount if you make one payment, so you can get started at one payment of $1,495. Or we're going to give you the option to get started at 3 payments of $665. So what you got to do in order to grab that is visit that link, jasonhornungagency.com/deal. And that's going to get you access to this one-time payment of $1,495, which is an additional $500 discount, or 3 payments of $665. Now, this offer is going to expire after the webinar. We're going to be sending you out some emails with the specific timing of that. So there will be an expiration on this discount and 3-pay offer. It will be going back up to the full $1,995 price point shortly after this webinar. So you will see emails that will indicate exactly when that will happen. All right, so let's talk a little bit about franchises. Franchises. Why franchises? Well, to open a McDonald's franchise today, it requires a total investment of a little over $1 million. So it's $1.06 to 1.9 million, depending on where you are. And you have to have liquid capital available of $500,000. And McDonald's is going to charge you a $45,000 franchise fee in order to just buy your own McDonald's. All right, so what makes that McDonald's franchise so valuable? It's the processes and systems that they've developed. Those processes and systems are what make a McDonald's profitable. You see, when you invest in a franchise, you're investing in those processes and systems that are proven to bring in profits when followed. That's why you can hire pimply-faced teenagers to run them, because they're super simple. It's brain dead simple. Everything works exactly the same in every single McDonald's. Now, today, you have an opportunity to invest in the processes and systems that I've developed to bring in profits from Facebook ads, which is extremely valuable. Basically, you're investing in a franchise of my business that you can implement into your own. And you're able to do it for far less investment than a McDonald's franchise. Plus, this is risk-free because it's backed up with a full 30-day money-back guarantee. Do you think if you bought a McDonald's franchise and you paid your franchise fee that they're going to give you 30 days to turn around and decide, I don't want to do it anymore, I want my money back? Of course not. They're never going to do that. That kind of thing doesn't happen in the real world. Let's talk about who this has worked for. We got people like Mike Dillard, Frank Kern, Todd Brown, Tony Robbins, Agora Publishing, Ryan Deiss. I've showed you proof from many of these people of the results that we've gotten for them. And these are all big names. They can be kind of daunting. So I want to show you how these processes and systems have worked for some regular people as well. Jarrett Stevenson wrote into me, he said, dude, you're a freaking animal. I just checked my stats and it's killer. This campaign you set up for me is doing $2K per day right out of the gate on a tiny budget. Okay, so you don't have to have a big budget to make money. Alan McKenna wrote in, I want to thank you so much for the Facebook ad campaign you built for one of my clients. We're currently seeing a 342% return on investment. There's so much room to scale it. The sky's the limit. Sam Ovens, dude, this week spent $4,000 on ads and made $72,000. Doesn't get any better than that. Let's talk about old habits and how they die hard. So I've got another question for you. A lot of you have been on trainings like this in the past, and you know what happens the next day? Well, the sad story is probably nothing. And that's actually sad for me because I've just shown you the exact processes and systems I've used to generate over $1 million per month in revenue for my clients from Facebook. And this is the exact formula that we use in my business. I've showed you everything. And you're going to go home and do absolutely nothing tomorrow. The reason for that is old habits are just hard to break. So unless you do something different right now, you're going to continue in that pattern. The only way for you to break that habit is to do something right now to break it. And the only way is to invest in getting the help right here, right now, and getting the tools and the help that you need to force yourself to moving forward and being able to leverage paid traffic into profits for your business. All right, here's what you're going to get again. You're going to get all of the core training modules, the beginner level training, the ultimate guide, the checklist, scripts, quick start templates, our proprietary execution plans, access to the secret order of traffic and conversion paid mastermind, and the 6K swipe file folder. That's a total value of $11,519. And like I said, you can get started today. We're going to give you $500 extra off on the one-time payment. So you can get that for a one-time payment of $14.95 or 3 payments of $665. This offer will be expiring shortly after the webinar, so be on the lookout for emails that will indicate exactly when that is going to expire for you. Go ahead and get started today, jasonhorningagency.com/deal. Whether you get paid from a job or whether you pay yourself or you're a freelancer, when that money hits your account, what happens? Well, you use some of it to pay your bills and take care of yourself, and then you spend the rest on stuff, but then guess what? In 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, you get paid again, and more money hits your account. You spend money and it replenishes. You spend money and it replenishes. The cool thing about money is that it always replenishes over and over and over again. So let me ask you another question. Does that happen with your time also? When you miss your daughter's soccer game, do you get that time back? Well, the answer is no. Money replenishes itself, but your time does not. So here's what I'm saying. invest some of that money that is going to replenish itself every couple weeks or every month, however often you get paid, and invest it into something that you can use to help to replenish your time also. You see, this is gonna save you a lot of time. You see, with this package, what I'm trying to do is help you to save a lot of time by investing your money, which is just gonna replenish itself anyways. And you're gonna be able to invest that into saving time on learning all of this material. Because you could go about trying to do this all on your own like I have, and trust me, it takes time, effort, and energy on top of the money that you have to spend. And you're gonna be able to take this and use a little bit of your money, which is going to replenish anyways, and leapfrog that time period to getting to success with your campaigns. So, just you're going to be welcome to learn this stuff on your own, but think of all that time that you're going to waste, and that's time that you're never going to get back. Okay, so now you have two choices. The first option is do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which, by the way, it's 100% risk-free. Or the second option is pony up this small investment today compared to all the value that you'll get in return and give it a shot. If it works for you, great. If not, just ask for your money back and we'll get it to you. We don't have very many refund requests. Let me show you what to do next. Go to jasonhorningagency.com/deal, enroll today. On the next page, you're gonna see an order form. You can choose the single pay or the 3-pay option with the special pricing. And then when you complete your order, you're gonna get redirected to a page where you'll be able to log into the membership website. We'll send you the login information via email so that you can go ahead and log in and start consuming the information as quickly as possible. All right, here's everything that you're gonna get again. We've got all of the core training, plus all of the different bonuses. We've laid all this stuff out. It's a total value of $11,519. Normally it's a $1,995 one-time payment. We're giving you the special of one payment of $1,495 or 3 payments of $665. Again, this is a limited time offer. It's going to be expiring after this webinar. We will be announcing the expiration of that via email, so be on the lookout. And you will see exactly when this offer will go back to the full price of $1,995. So go to jasonhorningagency.com/deal and enroll today. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and go to the Q&A section. We've had quite a few questions come in, and a lot of them seem to be falling under the basically 2 different categories. So I'm going to answer these in broad brushstrokes to basically pick up all of these types of questions all in one. So basically people have the question of, does this work for blank? And then the blank is, insert your business model here. So does this work for veterinarians, or does this work for an e-commerce business? Or another way that people will phrase this question is, will this work and then, blank, and the blank would be inserting some specific scenario here. Okay, so let me, pretty much every question that we get comes from, like some kind of variation of one of these 2 questions. The bottom line is this. These processes and systems are exactly what you need to go through in order to create any online advertising and online marketing process that is profitable. You just have to apply them to your specific situation. Now, there's a couple of caveats to this. First, this will not work if you're trying to promote a product or service in a market that is unacceptable to Facebook. Like I said at the beginning of the presentation, this is not for you if you're in a prohibited market. Weapons, dating, adult, things of that nature. Or if you're trying to promote a product or service using what Facebook considers to be an unacceptable business model. Or if you're using language in your ads or your landing page that is against Facebook's advertising policies. Those are the areas where this would not work for you. Okay, so you need to familiarize yourself with those. You can do some Google searches on it. It's not hard to find. Facebook publishes all of that. Right? There's nothing I can do about your product or service being unacceptable to Facebook. However, this course will teach you how to put together an acceptable business model and write ads that are compliant with Facebook's advertising policy. Okay, so that's an extremely long answer to the first part of that question. The answer to the second part of the question is this. I don't know. I can't possibly know if applying these strategies will work on any specific scenario. The fact of the matter is with marketing and advertising is if you want to know if this is going to work in your specific situation, you're going to have to test. These processes and systems will show you how to map out your specific scenario and run the simple math on it to see before you ever spend a penny on an ad if your idea, if your marketing funnel, if your process you want to take people through, if it could be profitable. If it is, then you have to run tests, and we're going to show you how to test, tweak, and refine the ad campaigns to get those ideas to become profitable. But it's up to you to execute that using the knowledge that you gained in this training. I can tell you this, over the last 3 years, I've worked with 124 companies and more around the globe. We have clients in the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. We've sold over $20 million of products and services in over 30 markets successfully all around the world. Physical products, digital products, coaching services, everything. We've sold hearing aids, cookbooks, solar generators, DVDs, software, books, courses, live events, you name it. These processes and systems give you the roadmap and the step-by-step instructions to create and optimize profitable advertising campaigns on Facebook. You just have to do the work that we show you how to do to know if it's going to work in your specific situation. All right. So then another question that we get quite frequently is, if we have to get our ads approved by FB before we can launch, why would we get shut down? There's a lot of talk about, accounts being shut down, especially after ads were approved. And, the question is, why would it get shut down if it's already been approved? Well, the answer to that is there's multiple layers to the ad approval process. You see, ads are initially just reviewed by computers, and some questionable things can get through those computers and have your ads initially, and I'm going to use air quotes around this, approved. However, all accounts get reviewed by a human at some point. Many times a human will catch things or interpret things differently than the computers do. And then they can choose to disapprove ads that have already been approved. They can also choose to shut your account down if they feel it is too big of a risk. The other thing you need to understand is that the advertising guidelines change frequently. You could create a compliant ad today and have it running. Tomorrow, the policies could change and make that ad non-compliant, triggering it to get turned into a disapproved ad. So we see this happen in our client accounts quite frequently. So, you need to understand how to put ads together in the right way so that they are compliant with Facebook's policies, so that you're not playing this game of getting ads disapproved and having issues with your account being running and active. All right, so Leo asked, I have a question. When doing an ad, what do you recommend we use to target our ads for the best conversion rate? Well, we're going to be going through targeting in the Alchemy targeting method. The targets that you use really have no determination on your conversion rate. Your conversion rate is going to be entirely dependent upon how you position your offer and the language and psychology used behind setting that offer up. So that's why, we've got the Inception campaign planning system as the first module in the core training. Is that's going to show you how you go about putting that stuff together to help you get the best conversion rate. And then we'll use that data to find targets that have the highest probability of being your ideal customer, so you can put those ads in front of those people and drive them into your funnel to see if they do convert or not. But the specific target that you use or not will have absolutely no impact on your conversion rate whatsoever. All right, and then Lance says, so you teach the ways to scale the ads in this program? Yes, that's Module 6 in the core training is the 3D Profit Scaling System 2.0. We're going to show you how to systematically scale the ads up to whatever spend level you want to be at and maintain the profitability that you're looking for in your campaigns. All right. Then Aaron says, does this package teach us how to work on ad copies? I think what you're asking for is, will we teach you how to write ads in here? And yes, that's Module 3 is the 8-point psychoanalytical ad creation process. You're going to get 5 different frameworks that are going to walk you through how to write ads within that framework that not only will get conversion of people into leads and sales for you, but it's also going to keep your ad account compliant with Facebook's terms of service and get you high relevance scores so that Facebook's happy and you make money at the same time. All right, so we get another one here. Mimi says, when targeting the ads, are you able to only retarget people who have not purchased the product? I have seen ads for products I've already purchased all the time. Yes, we're going to show you how to do retargeting, and there is a way to show your ads just to people who have not bought. So we call that in our agency a non-buyer retargeting ad. We'll show you exactly how to set that up and exclude the people that have already bought, because that's pretty important. And a lot of people don't do that, especially like the bigger brands. So, you know, like Amazon and stuff. If you go on Amazon, you buy something on Amazon, you go back to Facebook, you'll see an ad for that same product right away and you'd already bought it. That happens to me all the time. They don't do a lot of this stuff because they don't care. They got big, huge budgets. But we're going to show you how to exclude all the people that have already bought so you're not re-showing ads to people that have already purchased your product and just wasting money on that. All right, then Lance says, can I do a quick 5-minute Skype call with you to see if this is a good program? No, I'm sorry. I can't do individual calls with everybody that wants to talk about this. We've done quite a bit to show you exactly what's going on in here. You should be able to determine if this is a good fit for you or not from watching the training. Munib says, will the training be updated with changes with Facebook? Yes. This is our flagship training course. It is being updated regularly. Facebook changes things quite frequently. They also run split tests. So even when we are showing things in a current view, it may actually not be the same for you. Another thing you need to understand is that the tools that are available, the way that things look inside of Facebook will be different depending on the country that you're in. So I'm in the US. Everything will be based on what's available in the US in my particular account at that time. So you may see things a little bit differently. You may not have tools that are available. That does not mean that the training program is out of date. It just means that we don't see the same thing. All right. John says, what if you only have $5 to $10 per day to spend on ads? Well, we talked quite a bit about how you can run campaigns with just $5 a day. So all you do is just set up your campaigns to run on that particular budget. All right. Do I get instant access to the program? We will process your order right away. There can be sometimes a little bit of delay before the usernames and passwords are created in our system. That should be resolved right now. If you have any issues getting access, you can just email our support. We're going to give you all that contact information. That's not a problem. All right. And then let's just keep going through here. Most of them are falling under the categories that we talked about at the beginning of will this work for me? James says, is there a PayPal option? No, we do not offer PayPal. And then AC Murphy says, is this product something that's sent out in the mail? Or is it membership where you get access? Yes, this is a membership site. Everything is going to be digital. It's all done with videos. You're going to get access to the private Facebook group as a bonus. Everything that we explained in the offer earlier. All right, Louise says, am I correct in understanding that you recommend a freebie first and then lead into a sell? So giving a tutorial backed up by a product sell is more of a value add to your customer. No, I'm not recommending any business model over another in here. I think what you're talking about is when I demonstrated the guaranteed profitability formula, all I did was use a simple funnel where we were, getting an opt-in and then we had a product sale. I am not advocating that funnel model. I am not making any recommendation for any particular funnel model. You need to decide, what model is right for you and how you want to sell what you're offering. Carrie is asking, not sure if I'm asking the incorrect place, but I have 2 questions. Will this program help me to sell individual items without a funnel? Will it help me with audience targeting and figuring out how to determine potential customers? So, yes, you don't have to have, quote unquote, a funnel. We have lots of people that are in the e-commerce space. They buy this course. They drive ads to their order pages or their e-com site, and generate sales. I have my own Shopify store that we advertise as well. So this will definitely work for that. And then, of course, Module 2 is the Alchemy targeting method. So we're going to show you how to identify your ideal customer in Module 1 and then translate that information into targeting options on Facebook in Module 2. Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in that haven't been answered throughout the course of this presentation or in the FAQ. So if something got missed here, you can always feel free to email in our support staff at support@jasonhorningagency.com, and we'll get your questions answered to the best of our ability as quickly as we possibly can. All right, so I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to be here today. I hope that this has been extremely valuable for you, that you'll be able to take the information that you learned about the guaranteed profitability formula and a lot of other stuff that we talked about with setting up ads properly and getting the right mindset and how you do all this stuff with the campaigns. And you'll be able to take that and implement it into your business. Also, if you are looking to work a little bit more closely with me, get involved in the program, learn our 6 processes and systems that we use to generate $100,000 plus per month in revenue for ourselves and numerous clients that we work with, along with numerous students that have already taken this course. I look forward to working with you. You can take advantage of the one-time special offer that we're doing today. You can get the one payment of $1,495, which is $500 off our normal one-pay price, or 3 payments of $665. You just go to jasonhorningagency.com/deal. We should have a link that's popped up on the screen that you can click as well. And then what we've also done is we've put the link to download the slides for the webinar and get the and download the walkthrough of the ad for Mike Dillard that I promised earlier. You'll get that with the slides, so there's a separate link to go and download the slides and get a video that walks you through that, and it'll show you the ad and everything and explain what worked with that and why. So you'll get all that. Just click that link. That should be up on the screen as well. And we'll get out some emails to you guys that will tell you when this particular offer is expiring. It will be going back up to the full regular price of $19.95 shortly after this webinar. All right, so whether you decide to work with us or not, I really wish you the best in your business, and to the victor belong the spoils.